First time post on Reddit, so I'm going to do my best. I don't know the acronyms yet, I'm trying to learn them all. If my writing and story is all over the place, just know I'm going off the top of my head and thoughts and emotions right now. Sorry. To start, I'm 31 male and wife is 28 female. We have 2 kids, 7 and 5. My wife asked me for a separation Aug. 27, 2020. She left that day and was apparently living at her mom's. The day after, I get messages from her cousin that she's been cheating on me. Wife claims she never did up to this day. A week after, we met up to do a Zoom meeting on her phone to meet our son's teacher online. She gets a Facebook message saying something like, "Only a few hours, eggplant emoji, peach emoji, sweat emoji." After the meeting, I asked her if she could explain that, and she said she didn't want to talk about it and that she deleted the messages already. She said it was a girlfriend of hers, because my wife was going on a date, and apparently girlfriends get excited for each other and think they're just going to get laid, which I obviously didn't believe at all. I got really upset and told her to leave. Around Thanksgiving, October for us in Canada, she told me she was taking the kids to another city to visit her grandparents and go swimming for Thanksgiving. She ended up lying and actually went with our kids and this guy she apparently cheated on me with and stayed in a hotel. On their drive back, the car engine blew and died. The car she fought me for and owes almost $12,000 on still makes payments on every couple weeks. This is when I started to believe in karma a little bit more. Between Sept and Nov, my wife and I drank together and had sex around 5 or 6 times. I still wanted her back and I really wanted to have sex with her. The part that I'm realizing now is that she's been seeing this guy for a while now. I found pictures of them about a week and a half ago. Ever since I saw those pics and confirmed things, I've stopped talking to her. I just wanted to believe all her lies, even when they were obvious. So she's cheated on me, left me for him, and was cheating on that guy with me. Just 2 weeks ago, before I found out for sure, she came over and we were talking and she was letting me feel her up and give her a full body massage and everything. Right now I can't even fathom what's going on in her head. Some other extra facts. The kids are doing well, my apartment is spotless, and I've lost 50 pounds since she left me, 235 pounds down to 185 pounds. She's come to my place a couple times and has cried to me about how it's so unfair how I'm doing so much better than she is. She said it's not fair that I'm doing all this now and not when we were together. She told me she still loved me on Christmas and bought me Christmas gifts. Not just junk, but a bottle of sake because she knows how much I want to visit Japan and like making ramen and such. So she put thought into it. I don't mean to sound rude either, but she doesn't look very good nowadays either. She's been putting on weight, has gone hard into drugs and drinking. She tells me she cries all the time. She told me she was depressed with me, left me thinking it'd be better, but is still depressed and that messes with her. But as we know, happiness comes from within, and she has none. So if you left me for someone else, at least be happy about it and make the best of it. She hasn't texted me for 4 days now. This is the longest she hasn't texted me in 4 months. She has told me before, when we were together, that if she ever left I would fail. When I started a job working in a kitchen, started as dishwasher, she said I would never make any friends. Apparently she forgot how social and good with people I am. All the waitresses loved me. I moved from dishwasher to working on the line and being asked if I'd want to bartend. At the time I was overweight and my self-worth and confidence were shot, so I didn't take up the bartending. She didn't like how many people, especially the girls, ended up liking me. Throughout the marriage, whenever me and my wife would go out drinking, she would always end up twerking on the wall or the floor and letting guys videotape her. She flirted with everyone and even had many of my close friends thinking I wanted a threesome with her. I don't drink often, but one Halloween I drank too much at a friend's party. Ended up passing out and throwing up everywhere. While I was doing that, she was in the bathroom with guys showing her tits off for free coke and who knows what else. But she convinced me nothing happened and ended up making me think I'm crazy and everyone was wrong. Basically gaslighting me. I'm seeing a therapist now and I'm learning that basically, she just needs attention from external sources non-stop. Getting it from her husband just wasn't enough. I know we all have issues. Our marriage wasn't perfect. I know I still love her and care about her, but I won't be a back burner or a second choice. I hate comparing how me and her are doing, but it makes me feel better right now. I have my own place, a dog, happy kids, my own vehicle, money, and university, and even though I feel like complete garbage, I'm going through the emotions so I can fully move on and try to be at peace. Whereas she is living with her mom, broken car, no vehicle, asking me for money and living off CERB COVID money. Unhappy, depressed, thought the grass was greener and it isn't. She is so afraid to be alone with her own thoughts that she still sleeps with her mom or the kids sometimes. When I have moved on, she will not. I don't know if she will ever move on, because she knows she made a mistake and is stubborn. In the end, I just don't know why she cheated and left, but continues to text me, has had sex with me, says how much I'm doing better than her. It boggles the mind. But then again, how can you understand someone who doesn't even understand themselves? I'm doing well, but some weeks I just feel so much hurt. Like she pulled my heart out, shattered it and banged the other guy on top of the shattered pieces. Anyways, that's the story. There's so much more I can say in background that I could give, but I think this does it. Thanks for reading. Feel free to ask any questions or whatnot. It's a difficult time to get separated, cheated on, and covet at the same time.
Me 32 female with my ex-husband 35 male bumped into him 4 years after our divorce. He still wants to get back together. My ex-husband cheated on me 5 years ago and we got divorced 4 years ago. He basically went from this nerd to a well-paid corporate during the course of our marriage. I loved the nerdy side of him. We had a lot of interests in common and were passionate about the same things. A few years into his job and our marriage, he changed. He started dressing better and working out more because his work was demanding and cutthroat, so I took him shopping, and we picked out a new wardrobe together. Then he started shopping more expensive watches, shoes, tailor-made suits. Things he used to hate about his job. He started getting a lot of attention from the opposite sex. He was still really good to me though during that time, but then in his words it got to his head, and he ended up having a 6-week affair which only stopped because I walked in on them at a party. I wanted to divorce straight away, but he did everything right at the time to try and fix things, but I couldn't handle it anymore. He then spent another year trying to win me back. Nothing that would constitute harassment, but a lot of romantic gestures. Luckily we didn't have children. After the divorce I moved to another country and completely cut contact with him. He respected that I didn't want anything to do with him, but I would still have mutual acquaintances who I occasionally talked to mention that he still asked after me with not so subtle hints that he's still single. And I am too. 3 days ago I was in another part of the city to where I usually work for a workshop, and he was in the same conference center as me but in a different room. He came up right away and I feel like someone had sucked all the air from my lungs. We got to talking, and then when his conference has started he asked me for my number, and I gave it to him because even after all these years I'm still attracted to him. He texted me asking me to come to dinner and we basically spent hours talking to each other. The last few days, it's been the same. Lunch together and dinner. Yesterday a movie and talking about everything except the elephant in the room. He's more like the guy I remember dating, not the guy who cheated on me. Today he arrived at my place and basically said he still wanted to get back together with me, and that he was leaving tomorrow since his conference was finished, but if I say the word, he'd put in for leave and spend more time with me, that he's never forgotten me and still wants to work things out. I have no idea what to do. The last few days it's felt like when we were dating, but when I go home alone, all I can think about is how much he hurt me. I am so confused and torn between asking him to stay and telling him to go. A part of me is still in love with him. I've been nothing short of giddy these last few days when I'm with him, but a part of me is also not wanting to be hurt again. I divorced him for a reason. How do I decide?